Hi, welcome my beautiful friends. Today I will definitely talk about how to become a bitch and how to choose yourself and just stop pleasing everyone in your life. And let me just tell you that I wanted to talk about it not because I want to judge anyone, although people will always judge other people, like that's how we've been created. I just want to talk about it because I've been through it myself and I know how hard it is. And I know how much it actually stops you from being you and how it stops you from being your best version of yourself. That's why let's begin. Especially for women, I kind of want to dedicate this video purely to women. I don't think like men will listen to this anyway, so if you're my girl, please stay and let's begin. I misrecord my little videos. I have to say we have been so busy and very positively busy. It's not like overwhelming at all, and I realized like this year I broke up all my ties with being a people pleaser. I had stages where slowly I had to remove some people, or I have to give myself a space to really know what I want again and who I truly want to be in this world. Because when you just do people pleasing all the time, you kind of lose yourself in all of this madness. I had to remove some people who are taking my energy for free, not giving me anything back in return. And it's not like it's their fault, it's probably my fault for being there for everybody, and then realizing that when I needed help and majority of the people that I were around, they were just not for me when I needed them the most. When my friend had an issue, she wasn't going out to see our group, I will definitely like message her, text her, going to see her, how you've been, oh you are poorly, oh he left you, oh there is some problems with relationships and whatnot. And when I wasn't there for, because I was going through quite a hard time in my life, she didn't even call me, like she didn't even text me. It took weeks on end. I kind of like, I lost myself back then, and it was weeks on end, and she finally called me and she said, oh, are you going out? And I said, no, I'm just not feeling good. She's like, all right then, see you, bye. She didn't even like, she didn't even mention that there was something going on, and she didn't even bother to ask. Now I started to choose very wisely, and my close circle is super small. It's so small that it's sort of non-existent. Well, I have quite a lot of friends, but they older, they have very successful life. And when I say successful, I'm not just talking purely about money, of course. I'm talking about they being very successful and being in their best skin. They so positive. They have their own businesses. When I call them, I can get the best advice, and it's not like they're gonna say, oh, you need to pay me like £10 because I gave you the advice of your life, otherwise you'll have to. So it's just like, it's such a good circle. And I'm really happy and proud about it. And I think this is where I want to begin this video, because if you're anything like me, and trust me, I love holding somebody's hand, helping them, like I feel that my life is basically like it's based on helping other people, which obviously it's not, definitely not anymore, but that's how I felt. So if you're anything like me, like overdoing, remembering people's thoughts and opinions and always coming back to, oh, I remember that situation, you weren't feeling very good about it, how do you feel now? Even though it was like months ago, they probably already forgot about it, but it was still in my head, I was still processing, what can I do to help them? I'm pretty sure that if I would tell them my story, they wouldn't care less, and they be like, phew, oh, she just said something, and that's it. But I was always the person who was like remembering about it and reading people's expressions, and I see good and is he not good, and it's just also because of my intuition. Let's say there was a group of people and they just they sat there for hours, and immediately when I walked into the room, I could feel the energy. Like immediately I knew that something is wrong with her or something is wrong with him, and rather than just going on about my day, I would like, I would be drawn to problems. I would be drawn to people who had problems and who had difficulties, and they were just looking for somebody who they can vent to. Really, there is nothing wrong with saying that something is wrong with you. that you know that something bothers you, but there's everything wrong if you say that to a friend. Let's say you say it once so she can just listen and you venting to her, that's fine. But then you saying about this problem again and again. To me, a good friend would give me advice of how to solve the problem, and that's a good friend. But other people, they would just vent and vent on end just for feeling better about their life, and they would never listen to what you have to tell to them. So after certain conversations with my friends and situations, I realized that I want somebody who's gonna listen to me, who's gonna tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, and also if I'm gonna tell them the same thing, they're gonna take it on board. At least they're gonna hear me out, they're gonna think about what I just said, and that's a good friend to me. Anyway, cheers. If you wonder what's that, it's rooibos. No sugar. I'm on a diet again. Not a diet, but just changing my life. So it brings me to the point that this is sort of true that good girls, they finish last. Because even when you meet a good guy and you keep this energy of being always convenient and always on time and listening to his problems, you being just a good girl, you don't share how you feel and what really bothers you, and when you do, he doesn't care, then trust me, like he's not treating you well, and he never will. And I said it, like I said that out loud, even though it's not a good feeling. I would love the world to work slightly different, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I just still don't understand a lot of the principles, but trust me, if you're too nice and you're too good, you're gonna end up last. I think we are coming to this world to make ourselves happy first and foremost, and I truly believe that. When you're trying to make everybody else happy, you end up last. You end up with a lot of issues, and you end up with not trusting yourself anymore, even though you should. You feel resentful. That's not what life is about. When you don't value yourself and your opinions, then nobody will value you. And that's true. When I speak and I trust in me and I trust what I say and I trust what I do, people follow and people listen. When I'm a bit like, are they gonna like me? You know, in my head, it's like so many situations. Oh, maybe she just smiled in the wrong way. Oh, maybe she didn't like what I said. Whatever. Then you know you're losing. Rather than concentrating on you and how you feel and what you want to say and your truth and your value, and maybe you're a very valuable person, you have something very valuable to say, you think, oh, what she's gonna talk about me, what he's thinking about me, oh, maybe this is the right time to say that I want this and this and this in a relationship. Oh my god, maybe he's gonna leave me. Like, what if he's gonna think bad about me? What if he's gonna say to friends? Like, F off. Who cares? You should be caring, and you don't, and that's the problem. As much as I'm a big advocate in helping each other's and having each other's back, supporting one another in family life, friendships, relationships, even at work, it only works when you have clear boundaries and people can sense your boundaries straight away. Like, we are so good, we don't even realize how good we are when we see somebody who doesn't have clear boundaries. Straight away, you don't need to be a woman, especially not a woman. Like, men can read women in a second. We don't even realize this. They can read our energy better than a woman can. That's a red flag. That's a red flag straight away. She doesn't value herself. She will do whatever she can to please me. Am I the god here? Like, how good I am that she can clean, cook, pay, making love with me, and she can do everything and anything for free, and I don't even need to bother. Like, minimum effort, bare minimum effort. That's all what I need to do. I just gave you the example. When it comes to dating process, when you go above and beyond, you drive and see him, you will pay for dinner, you will buy him gifts and so on. I had friends, male friends, who told me that this happened to them, and they said I couldn't care less. Unfortunately, I was just using her. Maybe they don't feel good about it, but they will go with the flow, and they will stick to that relationship for the time being until they're gonna find a queen, until they're gonna find somebody else, until they're gonna find a challenge. They will stick to that relationship, if you like. I don't even call it relationship, I just call it abuse. because men feel good when they act and they are being appreciated for it. When they give and they being appreciated for it. And we feel good when we receive and we being loved for this. Okay? We received and people appreciate that we can receive. Oh, we feel our best. When you try to switch the roles and you are the giver and he's the receiver, then we see what we see in today's society, that nobody knows their identity. They don't know if they're men or women or they cat or cow or whatever. They just feel so many different things because we just lose ourselves. We just lose ourselves, and that's what happens. There is definitely a fear of abandonment, and it's not just from women, it's from men and women as well. It's probably coming back from our old days when we were in tribes, very small tribes. We felt like we couldn't say no because of whatever reason. We had to say yes to everything, we had to follow the leader. But in today's society, it's not like this anymore. You can survive on your own. You can get an apartment. You can cut yourself off from friends, family, relationships, even a job sometimes if you have enough, savings, and you survive good. Unless you still live in some places that still requires that tribe situation, then that's probably a different story. But if you live anywhere around Europe, probably maybe most of the Americas places, like you good easy. You don't have to please people and you're still gonna survive. And it's like when you have mothers, brothers, it works in families as well. You have mother-in-law, you have your parents-in-law, and you want them to say, oh, look at him, look at her, he picked such a nice girl, she can do this and this, like he's so lucky. Like they won't tell you this. Never. I've never seen a person who was going above and beyond to please everybody and she would be appreciated for it. I have seen the situation when she was doing flipping everything and they still were not happy because it wasn't enough for them. That's why I said in my relationship that I can help. I really don't mind helping anybody, but I'm not gonna go above and beyond when somebody treats me without the respect. If I don't see the respect, I won't give you my respect back. I won't give you my time. I won't give you a minute in my thoughts anymore. I used to be very bothered about it. I used to be thinking about it and crying, and it's just not me anymore. And I wish for everybody to be in that place, because the world will be a better place. There will be no bitching, there will be no gossiping around, there will be no hard feelings. Everybody would just do what they want and appreciate the fact that other people do the same. Why that doesn't work? When you're too overgiving and over-pleasing, because you lose yourself. You truly, you lose your self-esteem, your confidence, and you lose the ability to make your own choices, because you always think like whatever you're going to choose is bad. That's why you hear people who walking around and they say, oh, whatever I do is wrong, whatever I do doesn't please her, whatever I do doesn't please him. It's because you do too much. You overthink shit, and you shouldn't be doing this. When you don't value your own voice, you feel small, you feel insignificant human being. And I really understand this more than anyone. So there's really no judgment. But I know there is a way which showed itself to me many times before. And slowly I started to take some actions. I started to implement changes in my life, and I saw great results. Better job opportunities, better relationships, better men around me, better friends around me, my family members treating me different, and so on and so forth. So it's not just a saying like you need to have your own self-confidence and you need to stop people pleasing. It's tremendous work that needs to be done in order to have that. But it's worth it, because if you get the results that I got, that's awesome. The actions that I implemented in my life, it took me to where I am today. And is my life perfect? Of course not. It's very far from it. Maybe it's never gonna be, but what's perfect? Like, what's perfect these days, okay? Well, to me, it's feeling freedom, It's when I don't have to explain myself to so many people, when I don't have to be somewhere at specific time every single day, when I'm overdoing, when I don't have time. I want to feel love because I want to feel love, not because I did something for you and I want your love in return. When I do something for you, I do it because of my heart, because of my time, because I want to do it. I don't even expect thank you anymore. I do it because I wanted to do it. And doing things for others when you don't want to do them, it makes you feel, well, that's a big sign that you can't say no. And it also makes you feel very resentful at the end. You're gonna give, and then you're gonna start hating that person because you gave so much. And then you're gonna gossip about it because, I gave her so much and she's not appreciating me. You know how it goes, right? It's probably seen a lot at workplace as well. You always have that person who have the most amount of work, who's doing the most amount of work, and she usually say yes when you ask her. She will always help you. She is the least appreciated in her workplace, and she's never given a pay rise. Do you know that person? Because in every single workplace that I work for, I saw that person. The one who was overdoing, over-delivering, she never got a promotion, she never got a pay rise. If she did, it was very little, just because she was really sick and she was like, oh, I'm gonna leave, and then they give her a small pay rise, not even 2%, and she stayed just because of this. At the end of the day, even with that small pay rise, she was very unhappy. You could tell she was very unhappy, the way she spoke to the colleagues, the way she spoke to the bosses, but she just stayed. She just stayed in that relationship that she hated. She stayed at the workplace that that they didn't value her. And I'm just like, why? The one thing I was good about in my life is to make a change. If I really don't like something, I'm gonna leave. Sooner or later. Maybe it took me a bit longer, but it's not like I stayed in one place for 11 years and I hated every single minute. But I know how it feels to not being able to say no, especially when your life depends on it. And at the moment you go to work, you feel like your life depends on it, right? Because you need food, you need to pay your bills. Men and women those days, they need the job to survive. So it's super difficult to say no, because it's probably a bit easier to say no to your friends, family and colleagues. Well, not even colleagues, but friends and family, your husband, wives. It's super difficult to say no to your boss. I've experienced that on me or other colleagues so many times, the injustice that was happening, that I learned the really hard way. There was one time when I start my journey and my careers and stuff, there was one time when I kind of said, I didn't say no to my boss. I just said it's sort of impossible to do it. Let me give you a small background. I came from filmmaking industry, and then I started to working for a company that was teaching people how to make money from the properties, and they wanted me to do like a show with them and other people, and they said they wanted to be like an X Factor. So let's not forget, I'm coming from filmmaking background. In my head, we need so many cameras, we need people, we need this and this. Even if I would like to do it in a small, on a small budget and like very basic, I still can't do it because it's only me and one really old, crappy camera. Yet they wanted me to do a TV show. So I simply say, I don't think it's possible with the equipment that I have and with the resources that I have. And what they did, instead of, well, they did offer me some help when it comes to the people, and then later on I brought my own equipment that I used at work. But I feel like I said no in a very respectful way. That's how I felt about it, okay? And a lot of people, they were very negative at that workplace. They were overwhelmed. They knew they don't want to work there. All of this was coming to me, but I was still a very positive person, because if you call my friends, you call my family, whatever, they will say that I am quite positive, okay? I am a positive person, so it's not like I was negative. Yet I heard that I was the negative person and they won't give me my bonus. It was bonus that I worked for really, really hard for the last 4 months. I was doing overtime for free. I was working 17 hours a day. I haven't seen my friends. I wasn't dating, like nothing. I just worked and worked and worked. And all they did, rather than paying me my bonus, they gave me more work and more project, more work and more projects. So I went and asked, okay? I was like, well, I don't think that's very fair, but I just asked, like, why you didn't pay me my bonus? And all I heard is, because you were negative. Oh, was I? Negative about what? You were very negative about this project. Really? Really? At the end, I did deliver them that project, and I think I've done amazing with what resources I have, rather than saying thank you to me, thank you for making our stupid, crazy ideas happen. We won't pay you your bonus. And that was the time that it really, my eyes open up. Yet I didn't do what I supposed to, because I supposed to be very clear that I don't want this to happen again. And I supposed to be very clear that I've done my best. And I supposed to just said quite a lot of different things to them. Yet I was like, okay, I'm gonna be more positive next time. And I stayed in that company for another, I think, 6 months. I really learned after that if somebody's not treating me right, they don't appreciate my work, I'm gone. I'm gone in a heartbeat. I'm gone. You won't see me ever again. And then I've seen people who didn't get the pay rise for so long. I've seen my colleagues that worked in the company for 10 years. They were on below the minimum wage. The people were buying, the bosses were buying another cars, another motor homes. Everything was costed 80 grand, 90 grand, 120 grand. They bought it all for themselves, yet when it comes to the company and the staff and appreciating and paying them right, they just said, oh, sorry, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough budget. And people stayed. Like, I was in that company, I left after 2 or 3 months. I saw what's happening. And people stayed many years, and what happened later on, the company shut down. They didn't even let people know. Even though they knew they're gonna shut down, right? Because it was a family business. It's not like the big company above us shut down and we have to shut down as well. Like, they knew about it. They didn't even let the staff know. They left the staff without any pay, really. And then they only gave them a week or 2 weeks notice. And it just shows me that the good people finish last. Pretty much always. Because it's not just about being good, it's about being realistic. And when you saw so many things that I saw in my life, you will be definitely more realistic, and your approach will be so different, okay? So we see that in workplace, we see that in the relationships. There is a fear of abandonment for sure. The woman will be so afraid of the abandonment that, she will be just afraid of being alone. Yet, when I saw some of my ex-friends, the loneliness in her situation, it would be a blessing. It would be a blessing in the sky. She could finally go out, meet new people, change her looks, maybe read some books, get a hobby. Yet she was so fixating on the guy, and she was so concentrating on him because she felt like he wasn't doing his part. And it's true, he wasn't doing anything really. Yet she would try to change him, she would be nagging him every time she was coming back home, she would be criticizing him. There was a drama all the time, right? So she would be talking to her friends about him and trying to nag and change, and then as soon as he got some money, he saved some money, he moved out, he was living a great life all of a sudden, and he just moved on to the next person, because all he could remember, it's not like he could remember that she done a lot to him, for him, cooking, cleaning, paying, whatever else she was doing. He would just remember that she was naggy, she was overweight, she wasn't treating him with respect that he deserved. Like, that's what people see. He did not see his lack, his part. All he could see was her. So why did you fixate on him? Why? Because she tries to be the pleaser. She tries to be the one who will change him. But that's also quite the deeper conversation, with the situation like this. but there was no healthy boundaries whatsoever. You know, like, did you ever saw a man that would be walking around and say, oh, she was so good to me, she would be cleaning, cooking, paying for everything, and I appreciate her so much, and that's why I'm with her? No. Yet you hear men who are obsessed with women that they can't have, the one who have an attitude, the woman who know her value, and the one that are not just people pleaser, the woman who talks her truth, even if it's nasty. That's the one that men like, and that's the one that men marry. Let's be honest. So when I talk about the healthy boundaries, how do you actually do it? Okay, that's the most important thing. How do you actually make a set? Like, how do you set your healthy boundaries? Well, let me say it this way. I'm in the situation when I don't like somebody for for whatever reason, or I'm in the situation when I don't feel good. Then, the situation that makes me angry, that makes me feel sad. Then I ask myself, what would make me feel better? And it could be anything, between having an honest and open conversation with that person who disrespect me, or maybe just cut myself off the situation completely if I can. If this is a person that, for example, is in my workplace and I just can't cut myself off her, then maybe just avoid her. Stop thinking about what that person is feeling or how she feels about me. Focus on how I feel about the situation, and if I don't feel good, I'm just removing myself. And make the decision, like, whatever you're gonna do, whatever decision you're gonna make the decision that you're gonna stick to your choice, and that you're gonna value your opinion, and that you will take the consequences. When you take the consequences for your action, especially when the actions are good for you, you're gonna reward yourself straight away. You're gonna feel good about yourself, and then you're gonna make the next decision, and the next, and the next. When you talk to somebody, don't make drama. Just act like an adult, like a human being. Just say how you feel about it. Say how you can make the situation better. There is nothing wrong with having a bit of fighty discussion, but I don't feel like it's always appropriate. Just stick to it and take it slowly. So if somebody asks you about doing anything, and you are the person who always say yes and you want to say no, just say it. Oh, I would love to. I would love to. However, I have other plans. My husband is taking me shopping. Okay. I would love to join, but we are going and buying a new sofa, and that's definitely going to take us half a day. We need to see lots of sofas today. Either make it it just depends who that person is in your life. But right now, if I see somebody who is so nasty and I just really don't want to be around that person is trying to take me out or being my friend, I will be like, we're gonna go and buy a new whatever. I just make such a small insignificant thing, and I just say that it's gonna take me all day, just so they know where I stand with them. We're gonna go and buy toilet paper. We buying the next new toilet paper, and we have to really think about that. Who cares? Just ask yourself, who cares, right? If you don't want to lie, you just say something like, I have other plans. I'm booked for today. Oh, sorry, I can't. If you want to be super nice, just say, I really appreciate it. Don't even say sorry to them. Just say, I really appreciate you trying to take me out. I really appreciate that you, whatever. I just appreciate you, but I have other plans. Take the consequences after whatever happens. Just live with it, okay? Just live with that consequences and your actions every day. What can happen in the worst case scenario? Is the world gonna end? Did that person not gonna like you? Did that person gonna gossip about you? That's their problem, not your problem. It's your problem when you say yes to the things when you should say no. That's your problem. Let's say Josh wants to take you out and you say no to Josh. And even though he said he loves you, he turned your back towards you, then you just said, good luck, Josh, love you, and never see him again. Good luck. I loved you, but whatever, forever, you know, on to the next. Next step is to take your attention off people completely. And I was a queen at seeing people's faces, expression, emotions, small little things. I was always obsessed with that. You know, I was really good at reading people. I was too good at reading people and not really good with what I wanted and, you know, what I really craved in my life. So now when I don't really want to focus on somebody, I'm just going to focus on my work. I'm just going to focus on whatever I'm doing. Not work, but you know, like, I don't know, I'm going to focus on my glass. I'm going to drink and focus on my glass. And just say what you need to say. Just say what you need to say and be done with it. Because when you see the slightest brow movement, you see, oh, you said to yourself, you're not happy with me. Oh, like you analyze and just stop it. Stop doing this. Stop doing this to yourself. Stop doing this to your life. Stop doing this to them. Like, they don't want to be analyzed. They are human beings. Nobody wants to be analyzed, okay? Don't do it. Let's say he wants you to watch FIFA with him and you really don't want to do it. Like, I don't have any problems with telling no to my husband. No, not whatsoever. You know, from the beginning, I set a clear boundaries. When he wanted me to do something, I wasn't happy with it. I let him know immediately, okay? I didn't leave it for 10 years later. I just said, sorry, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. When I was really dissatisfied with the fact that we didn't go and eat, I was like, I'm really hungry. I really want to eat. I appreciate this, but let's do what I want to do now, okay? Can we please? Thank you. Like, what can happen? You think you're pleasing him, but you're not very happy, and he can feel it, and you just kind of ruined that FIFA for him. So if you want to go and watch it, let him watch it. Go do your own things. Like, I'm more than happy now when my husband comes back work and he has other things to do, so I can focus on my little world and my little hobbies, and I really don't have to be with him 24/7. So you survived. He watched FIFA. You said no. Nothing happened. The world continues, okay? Maybe you lost some likes because you said no to somebody. Like, whatever. Social media is not the real world. Let's not forget about it. And become happy with your own flaws. So for example, if you didn't do something for work, okay, you just like, you're always so good and you just know you're good, right? And then you kind of make a mistake, or you didn't finish the project on time. Rather than just say, I'm so sorry, like, oh my god, it's my fault, I'm so bad. Like, no. Okay, don't do that to yourself. You go there, you go to the meeting and say, rather than even apologizing, well, you can say, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't finish that on time. Or maybe you can just say, thank you so much for understanding that I have so much work to do and so many projects. Maybe we can work around that, okay? Maybe we can find a solution. Maybe we can drop some less significant projects and focus on the bigger ones so we can make loads of money. Like, come with the, you know, be proactive, like, be assertive, come with the solution rather than just saying, I'm sorry, because maybe it's them. Maybe they give you too much work. They know they do. Yet you're apologizing to them. And you work for £8 an hour, £10 an hour, whatever the minimum wage is now. Like, don't do this to yourself, please. Next one, see people for who they really are. And that's so important. Oh God, girl, that's so important. Like, not stop fantasizing. You know that word. Stop romantics. just stop doing this, okay? When people don't see other people for who they truly are, especially women, they don't see the true about men. Employees, they don't see the truth about the employers, and so on, and like, people don't see truth about politics, so on and so forth. Like, see people who they really are. Are they kind? Can you count on them? When you do the mistake, will they bash you in front of everybody, or will they try to say, it's fine, okay, like, you know, we got this, we can do better next time? Who they really are. Are you happy with the environment that you are? If not, maybe it's time to change it. Maybe it's really time for you to sit down, write everything, and say, maybe I'm gonna be happy with somebody else. Maybe I'm gonna be much more happy alone, or maybe I'm gonna be you know, maybe I have 6 months savings, and rather than working my ass off for somebody who doesn't really appreciate me, maybe it's time to quit my job and do nothing for the next 6 months and look for other people around me. Maybe I'm not happy with my landlord and where I live, and maybe it's time to move. That's what's gonna happen when you're truly gonna value your own opinions, and you're gonna stop thinking about what other people tell you and what other people think about you. Truth. Excuse me. So let me tell you that it's I think this is going to be pretty much the end, but let me tell you that the magic happens right there. When you start seeing your other self, when you are not pleasing other people, you see that other side, not the pleasing side. You see the you side. You see that you have that dark energy, that you can say no, that you can dress differently. You don't have to be the good girl. You don't have to do this or this just because society, people, religion told you to. Because this is maybe not who you truly are, or this is just a phase in your life, but now you want to go to the next phase and nobody can stop you. The magic happens that I really can't explain unless somebody would go through that journey. If you have been through that journey, let me know, because I would really love to hear that other people's stories. Do you find the same, do you find the same scenarios? Did you find that maybe it didn't really work for you? Let me know, please. Let me know in the comments. And babe, when you find yourself, I promise, it's so liberating, it's so nice. And just because you lost a few likes, social media, whatever, you just lost, maybe you just lost somebody who you truly cared about, but you just know that he's not good for you. Move on. Cut your ties. Move on. Do yourself good. Because you can't give from an empty cup. Your cup needs to be so full that it's just splashing on other people. You're splashing your happiness, you're splashing your smile, you're just splashing your time because you're so full, you want to give. And when you give, you don't expect anything back. And then when you want to do something for yourself or for other people, and then even if it doesn't work, you're still happy because you've done your best. You don't criticize yourself, you don't criticize other people, you don't explain yourself, you move on. So I hope that was very useful for you guys. Oh, I just realized, I don't know if I had it in the video, but it's my volleyball shoes. I cleaned them. By the way, they are the best. They changed my life, okay? They did. So let me just put them on. I do hope that you enjoyed that video, but even if you don't, well, I still do that for myself. I don't do it for anybody. Would be nice to listen to your stories, and whether you find it useful or not. Love you. Bye.